Voters experienced during the spring election. The Wisconsin Elections Commission has submitted its final report on what went right, what went wrong, and how it could have happened.
Absentee voting broke records for the April election. It was just as the coronavirus pandemic was starting to escalate. State leaders pushing people to vote by mail so they would avoid the crowds on Election Day. The commission says local clerks mailed out 1.3 million absentee ballots to voters. Voters used almost 9 out of every 10, and those were successfully counted. Roughly 23,000 ballots were rejected for coming in after the deadline or for some other reason. About 120,000 absentee ballots were not returned at all. And that includes about 1,600, which were mailed to voters in Appleton and Oshkosh. Fox 11's Monique Lopez has balanced coverage on the month-long mystery to find out where those ballots went.
You know, there were so many questions after the April 7 election about what happened.
The Wisconsin Elections Commission says it finally has some answers.
We set to look at the data, to really put some hard numbers on it and to figure out in places where we could what went wrong.
The WEC has been trying to figure out how many absentee ballots never got into the hands of voters in Appleton and Oshkosh.
When you think about it, those are the most conscientious of all voters. They want to vote, and they take an active step to do that.
The WEC estimates about 1,600 Fox Valley ballots went missing, but City Manager Mark Roloff thinks that number is very conservative.
I still dispute that 1,600 number is accurate. We think ourselves are missing about 3,000 ballots based on all the statistics that we gathered about how many ballots we mailed out.
The WEC report says 3 tubs of ballots turned up in a U.S. Postal Service facility one day after the April 7th election.
The post office has, like I say, they gave us a little information. They gave us the number of absentee ballots that were in those bins, but they still have not told us very much about those.
We got a call from the FBI the Friday after the election, but we have heard nothing from anybody at the Postal Service, so we're still awaiting answers.
An elections investigation found no evidence of technical failures in Oshkosh's ballot printing process. The WEC says that leaves 2 explanations for what happened. Either a user did not apply the mailing labels to ballot envelopes, or these ballots were bundled together and collectively encountered an issue in the mailing process.
Anything the Postal Service can do to get to the bottom of this, I think will help reassure our voters that they can mail in their vote and have it counted.
Fox 11 reached out to USPS to try to get some more answers. In an emailed statement, USPS says an investigation regarding potential issues with absentee ballots in Wisconsin is being conducted. The statement goes on to say that the Postal Service will respond to findings once that investigation is completed and that they have no further information to provide at this time. In Oshkosh, Monique Lopez, Fox 11 News.
Fox 11 has spent weeks investigating absentee ballot problems Wisconsin voters faced in April. Oshkosh says even though it appears some ballots got tied up in the Postal Service, it sent more than 12,000 out, 1 for every voter who asked. Kenosha sent out nearly 16,000, and Madison mailed absentee ballots out to almost 88,000 people. Green Bay fell about 3,000 short